What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another fresh commentary. Now guys, Halo Infinite has finally come out, and in the game they left out some of the most fan-loved weapons. So I thought I'd go over the top 10 weapons I want to come to Halo Infinite in the future from other Halo games. Because it is possible that 343 can come back with these old Halo weapons from the past games. Maybe not in multiplayer, but at least in Forge. Because people can make custom maps with these old weapons and just have fun with them. And I think that'll be awesome. So yeah, let's go over the top 10 weapons I want to come to Halo Infinite in the future. If 343 ever plans on bringing extra weapons to Halo Infinite, because they may or may not just stick with the same 26 we have in the game right now for good. But for one, the first weapon I want to come to Halo Infinite, and that's been on everyone's minds, like it's the most requested by OG Halo fans, is the Magnum. Don't get me wrong, the MK50 sidekick is alright, but I feel like it doesn't pack a punch like the Magnum does in the previous Halo games. There's just something about the Magnum that feels right as a secondary weapon in Halo. It's a pistol that feels stronger than even the primary weapon, and can blow headshots like nothing, which the sidekick can do sometimes, but definitely not as well as the Magnum. Maybe it's the fact that the Magnum has been the pistol in every Halo game ever, so for it to not be in Halo Infinite doesn't feel right. But I don't know, I really wish in some way it'll return to this game in the future, but I doubt it since they probably got rid of it because it was pretty OP for a pistol in Halo. But next up, the second weapon I want to be added in Halo Infinite is the Spartan Laser. Now, I don't know why the Spartan Laser isn't in Halo Infinite. It's been in every Halo game ever, so for it to not be included in this game doesn't feel right to me. Maybe because like the Magnum, it's a bit OP, and it seems like 343 is trying to remove unbalanced weapons, or the reckless ones from Halo Infinite I should say, and want multiplayer to be smooth with not so much complex weapons. So they scrapped out the infamous Spartan Laser from Halo Infinite, but I definitely wanted to come back because it was my most favorite weapon in Halo. I mean, it's a freaking laser that destroys anything once fully charged. It affects both vehicles and Spartans, and I don't know if they'll have it in campaign, but I hope, because I love blasting elites and a group of grunts with this thing, and it's just sad that one of Halo's most iconic weapons isn't in the game. So I really do hope they bring it back, even though everyone keeps saying that the shock rifle is its replacement. But hey, let's see, I hope it comes back. In my opinion, I think it's UNSC's strongest gun besides the rocket launcher, and it's kind of dumb that they scrapped it. Now the third weapon I want to come to Halo Infinite is the silenced SMG, or even the normal SMG. More of the silenced SMG because let's be honest, without dual wielding the normal SMG, it would be kind of unfun to use. The silenced SMG was an ODST classic and another one of Halo 3's most iconic weapons. There's something about this weapon that feels so silent and tactile. It just feels so good to use back then, and it's almost a shame that it never returned to Halo after Halo 3 ODST. They just completely ditched this weapon when it was probably the best one that came to Halo in the first place. They should have at least let us use it in Halo 5 Guardians when we get to play as Bucky. It was extremely effective and, like I said, iconic to use against brutes, so it would have fit perfectly in campaign, and I wish it would return in Halo Infinite's multiplayer at least, even if it may be a little unfair because it has a silencer. At least 343, please add it in Forge for us to enjoy. It would be great to have for Infection as a map spawn weapon for players to use besides the AR. So yeah, just another fun weapon to have and bring back. But out of everything out of this list, I doubt this one would return, since they haven't brought it back since Halo 4 or 5. Fingers crossed this one returns to Infinite, but yeah, moving on. The Brute Shot is another weapon that really is getting fans wondering why this isn't in this game. I mean, the game's biggest antagonists are the Brutes. Like, why isn't the Brute Shot in the game? I know after Halo 3 they sort of replaced the Brute Shot with the concussion rifle, but I really miss this weapon. Everything about it just felt like something the Brutes would use. Kinda like the Screwer in Halo Infinite. Anything bulky and spiky is what the Brutes loved, so I get why they scrapped this weapon out. It was OP, just spam the trigger and you'll have your enemies jumping around only to die momentarily. But I really do miss the Brutes using this OG weapon from Halo 3, and I hope in a way it comes back. But I doubt it since we don't see any Brutes using the Brute Shot in campaign, which means once again it's scrapped out and never returning to Halo again. But like I said, hopefully at least it'll come to Forge. I don't know, fingers crossed all these scrap weapons return, just for the players to have fun with. Now as for the fifth weapon, I know I'm going to be criticized a lot for adding it to the list, but it's the light rifle. Yeah, I know, out of everything I could have chosen, why the light rifle? Even the scatter shot is a little bit better. Well, in my opinion, I think the light rifle was fun to use in Halo 4 and 5. There's no Promethean weapons in Halo Infinite, and I know at least a small percentage of us missed the weapons. It was just like another variant to the DMR and the Covenant Carbine the Prometheans used that I miss in Halo. The way it just builds in your hand when you pick it up and has that glowing orange look made it unique and absolutely beautiful compared to anything else. And it was a good scout rifle to have in Halo. Even if hardly anyone enjoyed to use the thing, I doubt Promethean weapons will come back to Halo Infinite. It seems like the only 3 variants in the game are the Banished Brute weapons, the UNSC, and of course the Covenant weapons. But if they do somehow come out with some of the Promethean OG weapons, then I would be happy. I hope the light rifle makes a return to Halo Infinite, but I 100% doubt it since every Promethean weapon has been scrapped from Halo Infinite entirely. Maybe it will return in the future, but the primary focus use in the game is the Banished, of course, which are composed of both Covenant and Brute weapons. So yeah, maybe it'll return, maybe not. I doubt most of you might want it, but I definitely want it to come back to Halo. The next weapon I think should return back to Halo is the Plasma Rifle. Now, the Pulse Plasma Rifle is alright in Halo Infinite, but I'm gonna be real with you, it doesn't even come close to the Plasma Rifle. There's just something about this weapon that screams Covenant all over it. It is the iconic elite weapon, like the Spartan's iconic weapon is the Assault Rifle, so for it to get scrapped from Halo Infinite sucks. I mean, it's the Covenant's version of the Assault Rifle, and the Pulse Carbine is alright, but it doesn't come close to how good this weapon was. And again, this is just another original Halo weapon, so for this weapon to get scrapped sucks. It's just another familiar Halo weapon removed that makes Halo Infinite feel less Halo in my opinion, if you know what I mean. So maybe it'll return, but I doubt it since the Pulse Carbine is the new primary Covenant weapon now. I think this is just for the sake of balancing again, because you actually have a chance now if a few elites are shooting you from a distance. The Plasma Rifle was straight up spam in the campaign and multiplayer, while the Pulse Carbine you actually stand a chance, and it's actually just meant to wipe out your shields and nothing more, and it's just beams of energy coming at you, while the other gun is just straight up 2 headshots or dead. In this case, I kinda get why they removed it, but again, they should have at least nerfed it a little bit and added back into the game, like they did with the Needler, and add a nice sleek red look to it for campaign. All Banished theme like the old Brute version of the Plasma Rifle from old Halo games, from the purple Plasma Rifle. But moving on to the 7th weapon, it's the Fuel Rod Cannon. That's right, I missed this destructive Covenant version of the UNSC rocket launcher. Yes, we have a Ravager as a sort of replacement, but the Fuel Rod Cannon is another Covenant classic power weapon, and it makes the grunts more deadly. I mean, when you see a bunch of them coming at you with this thing, my first instinct used to be to get one of them to give me theirs, and blast all of them with their own firepower afterwards. And it was another version of the rocket launcher in Halo that was fun to use in this sandbox shooter. So I wish it would return at least in Forge for us to have fun with in custom maps again, because it was fun to just spam this thing and watch the blast bounce all over obstacles and just demolish all of our enemies. Even the Hydra doesn't come close to what this thing can do before too. It's like the UNSC just copied the Fuel Rod Cannon's design and made the Hydra actually. But please 343 bring it back, we all love this weapon in Halo. I get it was extremely overpowered in multiplayer, but it was one of the things that made Halo fun. The 8th weapon that should really come to Halo Infinite is the DMR. The DMR was a great scout rifle, another option to the battle rifle, basically a battle rifle without the burst, and it was a great weapon to use for the SWAT game mode. They basically replaced it with a Commando in Halo Infinite, but the Commando is so bad compared to the DMR. Everyone loved the DMR for its one-shot taps to the head. I think it made long-range combat more fun and competitive, and for it to be removed is such a letdown. So please 343, this is the one I want more than anything on this list, because although we have the Commando as a sort of replacement, after the flight you guys nerfed the hell out of it, and the gun is like completely useless now, especially with shields on. So yeah, please DMR and thank you. The second to last weapon we need is the shotgun. Okay, you may say we already have a shotgun in the game, we don't need another one to make things worse, but bro, in my opinion, the Bulldog sucks. I don't know who came up with the idea to add a freaking burst shotgun to Halo, but this is not it. And the range on this thing is insane. Like, I can one-tap 3 guys who are across the map with this thing. It honestly needs to be nerfed. And this will not compare to the OG and love shotgun from Halo 3 and Reach. And even the freaking Halo 4 and 5 shotgun is better than this. I have no idea what they're gonna do in Infection, because if we have to use this weapon for that game mode, it's not gonna be fun. So yeah, a normal shotgun, not a semi-automatic shotgun in the game would be nice. Now, for the last weapon I want to come to Halo Infinite, and again, this really begs the question as to why this isn't even in the game in the first place, because the Brutes and the Banished are in the game, is the Spiker. The Spiker was the most iconic Brute weapon, more than even the Brute Shot. It was their favorite pistol to use. They even had it in Halo Reach, and the fact that it's not in Halo Infinite is such a letdown. I was hoping it would at least be in campaign, but looking through some gameplay footage, it isn't. But I hope it does come to multiplayer, and I think out of everything I mentioned, it definitely can. Since in some alpha archive footage from other Halo players, they actually found the Spiker in Halo Infinite, and it looks like it works well. It probably got scrapped out last minute since they were like, yeah, this gun is OP to have in multiplayer. But with some tweaking and fixing, I think out of anything out there, it can make a return to Halo Infinite after 11 years of not being included in a Halo, since Halo Reach, of course. So please make the classic Brute weapon make a comeback in Halo Infinite, because we would all honestly love it. But yeah, these are all of the 10 weapons I think need to come to Halo Infinite. Like I said, I'm not sure if 343 plans on bringing more weapons to Halo Infinite. They might just stick with what they got right now. I'm pretty sure the majority of these might at least come to Forge though, or modders will make some old Halo weapons return in custom games for players to enjoy. The game is, after all, on Steam, so when Forge comes out next year, it's going to be so much fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments for which guns you want to come back to Halo. Like the video for more Halo. Subscribe if you're new. I post videos every day at 1 PM EST. Follow me on my socials, all links below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Stay blue.